Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to Tgm Radio Sports Show. We're back for another episode. A little later than appointed, but here we go.
Yeah.
And one number short. So hello, Ken. What have we got tonight?
Oh, hello.
Today,
We're late today, but still we're here. Our second show, and I think today it will be mainly talking about the last 16, the Euros, and then maybe we'll talk about the transfer news. Obviously, we've got plenty of that, and then bits of touches in other sports as well.
Okay, here we go. Obviously, we know it's sports season, so yes, we're getting into the last 16 of the Euros 2020, 2021
Yeah.
combination. So, right, football might be coming home.
What? Is it coming home?
Well, there's a hurdle to go over, but we got games today. So let's first look at the games that we have this weekend, and then we'll eventually look at England. Find out if football will be coming home. What have we got today?
So today we've got, I think, the first game of the last 16. So today we've got two games. The first is Wales versus Denmark. That will be at 5. And then Italy and Austria. That's at 8. So these are the only two games we've got.
Yes,
today.
We got a home team, which is Wales. What do you see if we look at Wales prospects? Of course, they've got...
I think Wales obviously they've surprised me. I didn't expect them to reach the last 16. But when you look at that team, they've got quite a number of good players. And then when you try and see how they link up, obviously they've got Gareth Bale, who has been really good. Obviously the performances on the national team compared to the performances on club level, it's not the same. It's basically like how we're talking about Pogba at United and then him at France. So when you look at their team, they've got Aaron Ramsey. So when you look at all the goals, actually, their play, it's mainly centered on Aaron Ramsey and then Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
So they're really strong. And I feel when you look at this game, obviously Denmark, I can't cut them off because their previous game, they actually fought. And I feel this is a tricky one, but I think Denmark. Obviously, I wouldn't want to go against the home country, but I think Denmark
seems to have
will
the
age
edge.
it. Yeah, because their previous game was, they actually played well.
Yeah, I mean, being a home team, they play a game similar to England's game, which is kind of hard pressing, fast.
Yeah, but obviously when you look at, I'm saying Denmark is winning, but then when you look back at the stats, first of all, none of their previous 10 meetings, none of them has ended level. And when you look at the stats, Wales has won 4 of those games, and then Denmark 6. So obviously I think that puts me in the right seat, me giving Denmark the win. So I feel it will be a tricky one, and it's the first meeting between these two sides since November 2018. So I feel Denmark will age it. I would side with Denmark for this one.
What happens if it goes to a draw? Do we have extra time?
Yeah, when it goes to a draw, there will be extra time because it's the last 16. Yeah. So obviously one has to go through it. Yeah, it is a knockout stage. So, every team will come to win.
Okay. I think we should start making predictions. When we come back next week, we'll
Mm.
find out if our predictions were right. So you're saying you're going for
Yeah,
Denmark.
I'm going for Denmark.
What do you reckon the score will be?
I would say maybe 2-1.
2-1 Denmark.
I'll go for 2-1 Denmark.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm giving Denmark, if you watch their previous game that took them their final group game when they played Russia, this was it was 4-1. But the way they were playing, I couldn't believe it, because I didn't expect them to beat Russia, because Russia has been a strong team as well. So from that performance, that's the reason why I think they'll be able to edge Wales. Don't get me wrong, Wales is good, but in this instance, I don't think they will be able to beat Denmark. So I'll go for a Denmark win.
Okay. I'm going for 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Why?
Or no 1-1, or let's a draw. Yeah, but 1-1 seems fair to me. Home advantage for the Welsh. I'm not so sure about their stats of how they're really getting to unknown territory. So I'm thinking they're going to fight hard for it.
Yeah.
They want to they want to come to the table as well. So 1-1, we could see penalties or whatever.
And who do you think will edge the penalties? Is it still Wales?
I think the Danes will have more calmness.
So basically, you're giving the Danish the win.
Yes, but having gone through.
So you're siding with me.
I'm siding with you, but I think they'll yeah, I think it will go square for full time, and then we'll go into extra time.
Yeah.
Next week we have another game this weekend. Is this today as well?
Yeah, Italy and
Austria.
Italy. I think Italy is one of the teams to look out for in this tournament. I think no one talks about them, but they haven't. I think when Roberto Mancini took over, they've been on a consistent run of wins. And the way they play, they're back to the old Italian style of play. When it comes to defending, I don't think no one beats them when it comes to defending. Yeah,
defensive team, very hard.
And yeah, I think what he did when he brought back the likes of Bonucci and then Cellini. Obviously, Bonucci and Cellini, we all know that partnership when it comes obviously in Juventus, I think it's one of the best partnerships. So when he brought them back to the squad, I think it added that depth in defense. And then he's got the upfront people, Insigne. So I think their team is really balanced. And I think that's why they've been on a good run. So it's one of the teams to look out for not even in the last 16, because definitely I think they'll be going through in this last 16. They're the teams to look out for, because I think they can win as well.
And in terms of the striking line, who are the danger men?
In terms of striking,
yes.
I would say they've got Insigne. He's not more of a striker, but he can play on the wing and then move in. And then when you look at Austria, Austria is not that of the best teams, but they've got their star man, David Alaba, who actually surprises me that it's like he plays all positions on the pitch. He's a defender, but then when it comes to the Austrian national team, he plays 10. He plays as an attacker. So I feel with this game, obviously I would say Italy will edge it. Italy has all the chances to beat Austria. First of all, they're unbeaten in the last 30 games, which is not really usual compared to the rest of the national teams. And when you look at Austria, it's their first appearance in an European, championship knockout stage. So obviously they will be the underdogs, but I would say Italy have got an upper hand to take it. So I would go for an Italy win in this one.
Okay. Right. Another game of the weekend that'll be Sunday tomorrow. Belgium, Portugal. Oh, okay. What goals are we going for in this Italian
Italy,
game?
Austria.
Yeah,
I would say 2-0 Italy.
2-0 to Italy. I can't really argue with you.
Are you
So
going for a draw as well?
no, I can't go for a draw here. Um, I actually reckon Italy might score more. Might
Oh, more
score
than
up to
two.
3-0, 3-1.
Yeah,
But
but
I need to
definitely
be
that would
sure.
be an
I'll
Italy
say
win.
3-0.
3-0. Okay.
All right. Okay. Belgium, Portugal.
Well, that's I think in this group, in this knockout stages, I think that game, Belgium and Portugal, and then England, Germany. Obviously, there's quite a number of really big games
Mm.
because when you look at Belgium, Portugal tomorrow, and then you look at Croatia and Spain, which is actually a big game as well on Monday.
Well, Portugal has started a bit.
Uh,
They haven't really been.
I think I'm actually disappointed in Portugal because even the previous show when I came on here, I actually thought they would beat Germany, but I was too surprised that they actually lost. So they've got a number of good players, and I expected them. I thought they were favorites to actually reach maybe the semi-finals. But looking at it now, I actually don't know. I think it's maybe their play, or maybe that they're not relating. There's no cohesion between the players and enough cohesion between the players.
Could it be a case of too much talent?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it might be the case of too much
It's
talent.
something we've seen with the Dutch teams over the years.
Mm.
Too much talent, a bit of ego.
Oh yeah,
It
because when you
doesn't
look
work
at
out
them,
well.
their backline is good. They've got Ruben Diaz, they've got Pepe, and then when you look at the midfield, they've got quite a number of good players. They've got Ronaldo, obviously Ronaldo. They've got Bruno Fernandes, who, by the way, I've been surprised that in the last game he actually didn't even start. And if I was the manager, I think I would actually do the same. I would take that decision because he hasn't been performing in the first two games. He didn't perform. So I think they've been let down by these, some of the top players. But well, it's a last 16, and last 16s are always full of surprises. Maybe they will come to life in this game. But and then when you look at the Belgium side, Belgium has been really, really good.
Yeah, they've been very impressive.
They've been really impressive. They've got Lukaku, who is right now, I think he's on a good run of goals. Yeah, he's really strong because I was watching his last goal, and he held the defender, and then he just put the ball in the net. So he's really too strong for some of the defenders, and with him, and then with Kevin De Bruyne, so I think they've got quite a chance. But this is a tricky game. It's hard one. It's a hard one to predict. I would say with this one, I would say they might go for a draw, like a 1-1, and then they will head to penalties.
Okay, we're going for a draw here.
Yeah, with this one, I would say it's 1-1.
This one is funny. I kind of feel like the first team to score might carry
win.
it.
Well, you would say that, but by the way, even if you watch the Portugal and France game, it was, if you say that the first team to score will win, I think I would disagree with that. Because when you watch the Portugal and France game, it was one scoring and then the other one scoring on the other, one scoring and the other one scoring on it. So it's Portugal is one of the countries, is one of the nations where you wouldn't put them down on not scoring. Definitely they will come up with a goal.
But then they can also let in the goals. So
yeah, so
if you keep pressuring them, they will leak.
Yeah, so I think it might. Me, I would give it a 1-1.
Yeah, that's one of the, I think, most exciting games on paper for the weekend.
Yeah.
And next we have Croatia versus Spain
on Monday.
Oh, this will not at the weekend.
Yeah, so we've got Belgium, Portugal on tomorrow at 8. And then the first game tomorrow will be Netherlands and Czech Republic.
Okay. Netherlands, Czech.
Yeah, Netherlands and Czech Republic.
Okay. Who do you think will take that one? Netherlands and Czech Republic.
Definitely Netherlands will take it because you look at the previous game, they won 3 and they played really well. And Czech Republic, we played Czech Republic, England played Czech Republic, and they were really too good for them. So I don't think they're going to offer much in this game. And Netherlands it has a strong side as well, and they will be rooting for a win. They would want to go through. They would want to reach the semi-final. So I don't see Czech Republic going through on this one. So I would say, actually, I'll give it a 3-0 win to the Dutch.
You win, to the Dutch. I can't argue too much with that. But who's the Dutch's star man?
I think it's Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay I think he has grown to be a top player now. Because when he was at United, by then he came as a top player. But then I think with these big teams, they make players, obviously like how you say with Pogba, I think they get too much responsibility or they expect too much from them, mainly the media. So when he came at United, he didn't perform because I think everyone was on his case. The media was on his case that you're not performing. So I think it hits the player's confidence. So I think that's why he wasn't performing. But then when he moved from United, he has been really playing well because he went to Lyon and he really performed well. And now he has signed for Barcelona as a free agent. So he's one of those players that have got flair and he plays freely. Now he plays freely. He enjoys the game. So he's one of their top players.
Okay.
And I think the Czechs will find a problem with them. So yeah, he's the star man. Okay. And they've got Jorginho Wijnaldum, the ex Liverpool player. Obviously, right now he's a PSG player. He was signed, so he's also that type of player that plays box to box midfield, who offers so much. In that, when you look at the goals, the Netherlands goals, two of them in this competition have come from him. And he's a midfielder, so he plays box to box. So he's one of the other players to look out for, and he's key for the Dutch team.
Okay, going back to the Croatia-Spain game, what do you think of this? Will it be a breeze for Spain?
Well, Croatia it's one of those countries that you put them off, and then they just surprise you at the end. Because when they played England, that game, I don't think they really gave in much. Because I think they would have played better, but maybe because it was the first game, I don't know. So they didn't play.
The first games of a tournament are normally very dull affairs. Normally 0-0 or 1-1 draws. Despite England's pressing in that game, they only came up with 1 goal.
Yeah, so Croatia is that country that really plays well. When you look at their previous game when they played Scotland, it was a 3-1 win to them. And you look at Modric. I don't know if you watched Modric's goal. The technique to hit that ball, Christ, he still got it at his age, performing, on the best stage right now. So I would say Croatia is one of those countries you wouldn't expect to win, but at the same time they'll win. And then when it comes to Spain, they've also come to life. At the start of the tournament, they were not performing. But then their last 2 games, they've showed that actually, we are World Cup winners and we want to win it. So it will be a tricky game. But I think when you went for a draw, I think this one will be a draw as well. I wouldn't side with Croatia or I wouldn't side with Spain.
A 0-0 or 1-1 draw?
I think a 1-1. I think a 1-1.
Okay.
I think a 1-1.
This could be a 1-0.
1-0
for me.
To Spain, you sure?
Yeah.
And by the way, moving, if you're talking about Spain, they've been talks of their striker, Alvaro Morata. He hasn't been performing really well for the national team. You know how he has been missing lots of, clear chances, and the Spaniards, the fans, were not happy with him. And obviously, unfortunately, he was receiving death threats.
Really?
Yeah, he received death threats.
Spanish are not playing.
Yeah,
with
his
this.
family. So he came out and actually told them that, it's not really good to actually, put these death threats on my family, at least come to me. So it's one of those whereby they've got, I don't know, there's being patriotic. You want your country to win, but at the same time, you're costing the other person. Yeah.
Do it like the Colombians.
Oh yeah. But
who else can they turn to if the goals are not coming from Morata? Do they have somebody that can,
well, for now, I
stand
think
in?
he's the striker they've got at the moment. So obviously you
So
can't,
it's do or die.
because obviously he plays, and then later on they bring Fernando Torres, who actually scored when he just came on in the previous game. Their previous game, they won actually 5-0. So it's they've got options, and I would say, if I was the manager, I would say it's Morata has not been performing right now, so I feel he should give a chance to, let's say, Fernando Torres to start the game. But then maybe because of the experience that Morata has been in these big games for a long time, he's played for Madrid, he came to Chelsea, so I think that's why he starts. But his performances have not actually reflected, so I think he should actually opt for other players.
Well, shout out to Richie, who's joining us virtually.
Oh, he is.
He's on the Instagram. He says Spain can only win the weakest team in the group. I don't know which one he's calling the weakest team.
I think Slovakia.
And he's going on to say Spain is out. Well, the game hasn't been played yet, so right. But he's basing that on the last game they played.
Yeah, so I think it will be a 1-1.
Okay. All right. Yes, England and Germany.
Well,
it's historically
it's coming home.
This game is contentious because of the history, of course.
Yeah.
Between the two nations, but football-wise, again, England won the World Cup in 1966 against the Germans. So it carries a lot of significance whenever these two teams meet. But yeah, this one's going to be in Wembley. So it's going to be at home. Home advantage for the English. What do we think?
Well, first of all, I would say the stats say England has never won a knockout stage game in 90 minutes. So before we even discuss, those are the stats. They've never won it in 90 minutes. So if they won,
have start right away.
Well, yeah, if they do it on that game, it will be the first one. So they always do it in extra time. But who knows? Are we going to go to extra time in this game? So I feel with the home country, England, they played really well in the previous game, Czech Republic, because I think the manager realized, obviously, unfortunately, some players couldn't play, because when you look at Mason Mount basically Mason Mount, because he left Mason Mount out, Phil Foden out. And Phil Foden, I think it was to do with because he had got a yellow card. So I think he
saved him.
Yeah, he saved him for the last 16 game. But even the players he brought on, because he brought on Bukayo Saka to play in Foden's place, and then he started Sterling,
who performed very well.
Who really performed,
to be man of the match.
He even performed better than Phil Foden. And then Grealish, who every England fan would love to see, because he's got that, his type of play is, more, I think they relate to him with the way Gaza played. So I feel when he played him, he tried playing Grealish and then playing Saka. It gave him a different dimension, in that when he's playing Phil Foden on the left wing, he would, because Phil Foden plays on he plays on the right and then cuts in on his left. But then when Saka played, Saka is the type of player that wants to run into players. Phil Foden is the type of player that wants to stop and pass. He likes playing the short passes. Saka wants to take the man on. And I think that's what we wanted in the England team. So he offered him that, in that he was taking these players on. And even the funny thing is, the player he faced was a player when he was playing at Arsenal, Slavia Braga. At the knockout stages. He was a player he faced, and now he was facing him again. Because even that game, he gave him headache because all the goals came from his wing. So he met him again. So it was a nightmare. So I feel he gave him that dimension. Then when you look at Grealish, he's that type of creative player. Even the previous show I mentioned it, that he needs Grealish to play. In that Grealish is creative. He will he will play those balls to Harry Kane. He will link up with Sterling. And that was the case. And I think that's why they won the game. So I think Southgate, what he has to do now, he has to think about it. Is he going to bring Phil Foden back? Or is he going to keep that same lineup? So I'm actually not sure. I think that game will depend on his selection. If he gets the selection wrong, then I think we'll be out. If he gets the selection right, I think England has a chance.
Opinion, do you think this team has the potential to give Germany run for their money?
Yeah. We've played Germany. They're not, even at this tournament, they're not the best. It's not the best team. So I feel if he gets the selection right, we can actually beat them. Because Germany is not the greatest team now. But it's to do with, I think, how we play and how the selection it brings.
Okay, let me put it another way. Who in Germany, which players in Germany do you see giving England a hard time, or that England should watch out for?
I think Havertz is that type of player that even when I look at him, his type of play, he seems to be lazy, but at the same time he's fast. His decision making is really good at his young age. So I feel he's that player to look out for. So they've got Kyle Havertz, they've got Serge Gnabry, who is really quick. Obviously, right now he was playing their strike line in that previous game. They're back. I think where we can beat them is they've got an aging defense. Because when you look at Matt Hummels, he's not fast enough. He's not that fast player. Because even when you look when they played France,
Richie is running riot on the Instagram.
Oh, what is he saying?
He's saying stop praising Saka. If England is to win, you need Foden in the midfield with Grealish and Rashford in the wing with Sterling. I mean, on paper that's a very potent
Foden and
team.
Foden, Rashford.
Foden, Grealish, Rashford, and Sterling on the wings. I see pressure, constant pressure. But who's to say the Germans have no counter to this? Like they could just slow down the game and just play it tactfully and hit you on the counter.
Well, first of all, I think the Germans they've got a good midfield because they've got Kimmich, they've got Gundogan, they've got Toni Kroos. So I feel their midfield is actually strong. But then when you look at their backline, Mats Hummels is not that he's not fast. So that means we need pace. That's why I'm saying if he plays Saka, it will actually cause problems for them. Because obviously they've got Rudiger and Mats Hummels. So he will be a problem. I don't mind him playing Foden. Foden can come in maybe in the second half. But then Saka should start and give them that pressure. To me, that's what he would do. And then Grealish, obviously, I think he will play Grealish because of the creativity. And then Harry Kane at the front. So I feel it will be a good game. It won't be an easy game for any of the countries. So I wouldn't say it will be an easy game for Germany as well. It's going to be a hard game for both the teams, but it's a hard one to predict.
Okay, but you have to make the predictions now, so let's hear it.
I think I'll go for 1-0. It's coming home.
1-0.
It's coming home. Yeah, I'll go for a 1-0 win for England.
I'm going for a 2-1
For
Germany.
So it's not coming home.
I think England has this tendency to freeze in such crucial games that despite the immense talent on the pitch, they just freeze at moments like this. And this game, the pressure, the history behind it might be a bit too much for this crop of players. It's not a very experienced team, although they've been playing top league football.
Yeah,
But on the international level,
you don't think they'll?
they haven't cut it yet. But well, it's only hours away, so we'll wait to see that.
Yeah, but obviously, I would say it will be a challenging game. But even Germany, the way they've been playing, they haven't been really. Their scoreline has not been that decisive of a scoreline in that we would say, yeah, this is Germany.
But personally, I go back to the historical German system, is that they always seem to churn out results.
Oh yeah, at the end.
And they do it mechanically. No matter how the game's going, they will stick to their plan and see it through.
Yeah, but even in that last game, I actually thought they were not going through. Because, that was a hectic group because Portugal was on the other end, with France, and then Germany was playing Hungary. And by the way, credits to Hungary, because I think they should be a team that should have gone through because they actually really played well. And I feel if they had gone through, that would have been a harder game for the English team. Because I think we would take it as an easy game.
Yes.
Yet Hungary is actually a strong team. They actually managed Germany. They held them down to a draw.
I would to say that in football nowadays, there's no easy team. Because every player is watched year round, season round, or through the cycle of the Euros, because the Euros come every 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So you're being watched, and all the stats are available to everyone. So nothing is new to anyone anymore.
Yeah, but I would say I'll still go for 1-0 for England.
You're saying 1-0. I'm saying 2-1 Germany.
2-1,
that's what we'll leave it at, and we close that chapter on the Euros and move into.
Oh, by the way, I think if Richie's on the line, he can call in and give us his opinions as well.
Richie,
yeah, Richie.
Tell us what you think.
What you think? Your predictions. Give us your predictions.
Yes, the number is +44 77 54 57 2890. +44 77 54 57 2890. Share your opinion and your prediction.
Yeah, whoever is listening, you can call in and share your predictions.
Richie wants us to pin the number here, but let's go. Okay, I think as we await some calls, we can go into transfer territory. It is the season.
Yeah, it is the transfer. I think.
So what have you heard?
Obviously, there have been lots of rumors. First of all, I would start with the Manchester United fans. The rumors of Jadon Sancho joining United. These rumors have been going on for like the past 2 seasons. And they say it was an £80 million deal. This has been agreed verbally. It hasn't been written on paper, but verbally they've agreed. And they think that they would have Jadon Sancho at United next season at £80 million. So that's the news at the United side, which, on my opinion, I don't think he's the type of player that would add so much to the team.
Okay, we got a call coming in. I think it's our man, Rich. Hello, Rich.
Yes, please. Yes,
How are you doing? And what do you want to talk about? Because we've had a lot of talk on the Euros.
Yes, I've been listening in, and I just want to say, if England is to win this game, they have to play a fast game, because we have all realized um the Germany team plays fast football. Denga, you guys are saying Saka to be a lot in the wing and he's a fast player, all, and like the defense of Germany may not be so strong, but Saka cannot be on the team that starts to play Germany on Tuesday.
Why
cannot
not?
be on the first 11, because he cannot be he can actually be a weakness and a strength in the England team.
How
More of a
can you
weakness.
explain that? Can you like expand on that? How can it be? How will it be a weakness?
Well, to expand on that, if you look at Saka's football, it's not the you know what, the Germans are a bit aggressive, a bit, their football is a bit, a bit jump in, jump out, counter attacks and all that. If Saka is going to play football on against Germany, Saka is a guy who wants to get the ball, dribble, then run through. You get. And Germany team will they will give him 1-2 injury, and you still need this player to be playing for semi-finals or something. If I told you magically you pass through.
But even more prospects for some set pieces then. If the tackle happens in the box,
Yeah, that would be a
England
penalty.
could be in luck.
Germany has one of the best goalkeepers, if you lot forgot about that.
It's still 50-50 chance when it's a spot kick.
Yeah.
Still 50-50 chance.
And the other thing, the reason as to why I said Foden needs to be alongside Greenish on the attacking. It has to be a 4-3-3, but the attacking has to be with Greenish. Attacking midfield has to be Greenish Foden, because Foden is a creative midfielder. He has the brain to put in all those through passes where necessary, and rather than on the wing side, if you know what I mean, like he can play better football in the midfield than round the wing. However, he cuts in, and but he's better a midfielder than a winger, if that makes sense.
But Richie, if you mentioned that if England is to beat Germany, they need to play that fast-paced football.
Yes.
But when you look at if you compare both Foden and Saka,
I'm not comparing Saka and
okay,
Foden.
no, not comparing, but I'm saying that type of play. When it comes to playing the fast-paced game, Saka is the type of player that will take on the players. Foden is the type of player that will help, will hold back and then pass, and then so you will not be given the defenders that hard time, regardless of the passes he will be given.
I'm actually looking at giving Rashford to start as a starter player than Saka, because Rashford is way faster than Saka. He has the experience, he has he knows where to go through and when to do it. He knows that this time is for passing, this time is for running, this time is like he's way more experienced than Saka. And Germany, if you to beat Germany, you English people have to use experience more than anything. This ball has to be experience and fast football. I would have also recommended Anderson, but he's a bit cracky now.
So what would your prediction be?
No, if you don't follow my advice, if you
No.
don't follow my advice,
We're not picking the team. Rich, we're not picking the team. We leave that to Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, we're not the ones making the team.
Listen to me. He's gonna get a 3-0 loss to Germany. Yes, England is going to get 0, Germany 3. The reason, okay,
3.
That's a bit biased, but
So
Germany is really rooting for. I remember last week you did not even believe Germany would go through.
Yeah, I didn't actually. I'll give credit to you because you gave them the win. So
because I told you Germany is going through, and if by any chance Portugal might
3-0 is
stay
really
behind,
embarrassing for England.
I don't think England is going further than quarterfinals, to be honest. Because even if they're to pass through this position,
like 3-0 is really dumping them out of contention.
No, look at the English run. Like honestly, look at the English run. I mean, they've played football, yes, but have not been that nice. One goal,
But it's a
and
win.
Germany is a team that scored 4 goals against Portugal. So I feel like we need to give them credit. Because if England is to go out of this position, out of the last 16, they're facing Sweden or Ukraine. Those are
Which
you
is
you would say weak teams to
which
the
is
name and reputation that England has.
we would
But
just be
Sweden
it would just be
scored
like a
goals.
walkover, isn't it?
Yeah, but Sweden has scored. Ukraine has scored goals. We have a strike. England has a striker, Ken, that has no goal in the whole tournament, and is their main striker. So you have to have questions around that. No,
Yeah. So Richie, what's your prediction?
my honest prediction is a 1-2 or 1-3, but Germany is winning.
Hmm.
You might score 1 goal from Starring, Man City guy, but still.
Rich is not biased at all, but we move.
But still, it's gonna if at all by any chance, because you've been mentioning about defenders in Germany team, and you forgot about one Gossen. He's a defender and he's a guy who puts in crosses. He scored 2 goals. Okay, one was cancelled. He scored a goal at the Portugal game. He made an assist at the Portugal game, and he's a defender. So check yourselves, England team. Check yourselves.
All right. Thank you so much, Richie, for that call, and keep on interacting with us on the Instagram. And
Yes.
yes, we're going into transfers. Do you have any scoops? Who's moving where?
Well, apparently this morning Manchester City put up a bait on Jack Grealish, a 1 million bait on him.
100.
100, sorry. I'm sorry. 100 million pounds on him.
Does that make
this
sense
came in,
to you though?
This came in just after Aston Villa putting out a public notice saying they're talking to Greenish for a new contract.
Yeah.
So this clearly makes sense. And I believe, according to Ken's performance, the 100 million bid on Ken from Manchester City is a bit too much. But him being, a captain, a record breaker for England, maybe somehow. And the other thing is aging. So it makes a lot of sense because, to be honest, if Greenish is to leave, Aston Villa is not leaving with less than at least 80 million.
Yeah, but 100 million.
So
is that a fair pricing?
I think he's an English player, and right now he's the one on everyone's mouth. So definitely, he's had the talk on the national team at the moment. Every fan is talking about Grealish. So obviously the prices have to be hiked. So 100 million is
I believe Manchester City did this to just tell the bosses of Aston Villa, shut up. We want this guy.
But do you think he can resist this offer? If
it goes to his
they're
hand,
literally dangling cash in front in his face.
Yeah.
And
if it goes to his hand, then definitely taking the offer because Aston Villa is not winning trophies.
Yeah, but has Aston Villa got the cost to resist? Can they put up a counter offer? Like, now he's in talks, let's say.
He's tied down. He just signed a 4-year contract. He still has 4 years on his contract at Aston Villa.
Yeah, but then why are they talking to him again?
Well, it's Man City. They've got the money. So definitely they will be able to, persuade him to leave. And he wants, I think him as a player, he would want to win trophies as well. He's not going to do that at Aston Villa. Sorry, Aston Villa fans, but he won't do it.
And if he's to, sign, so if the new contract, the 4-year contract has a release clause, blah, 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 City can afford it. City has the money. They have proven to be having the money. So, if it comes to his decision, he's taking the offer. Even if they say we're giving you, 200,000 a week, he'll take the offer. He'll be like, I'll perform well and I will definitely increase my money.
But
so
I would say with Grealish's transfer, I don't think that transfer will go through anyway. Because at the moment, Man City were looking for a striker. A striker is their main priority. And then when you look at Grealish is not a striker. So if they're looking for a striker, they were in talks to actually get Harry Kane, who right now is also rumored to be moving away from Tottenham. Obviously, he said he will make a decision at the end of the Euros. So I feel their main priority is for a striker. And with those two, Harry Kane and Grealish, they can't get both of them. They can only get one player. And the way it looks, I think they'll go for Harry Kane, and I don't think they'll go for Grealish.
But remember, also Man City has had the chance to prove to the Premier League supporters that they can play a false nine with no striker at all, and they can win games with their false nine. So it's a bit of a tricky one as well. They could be like, Grealish is performing, he's young, he has got the numbers, let's bring him in. Because both Grealish and Kane were affected by injuries the previous season. So their performance being extraordinary and with their injury situations, that they're good players. Better than last season, they're good players. So it's a tricky one.
Okay, who else moving? We've got rumors about Ben White.
Yeah, Ben White. Last week, Arsenal offered the tabled a £45 million bid for him, which was rejected by Brighton. But the news is reaching that they're right now in advanced talks with Brighton for another bid, and it will be in region of £50 million. And they're saying the talks are actually advanced right now, and they're hopeful that they will be able to pin this transfer down. Personal terms with Ben White are not a worry to Arsenal because they feel that will be an easy one. The main one is to get the deal done with Brighton. So I think Ben White might be an Arsenal player next season. And
another ugly jersey was released from Arsenal camp.
We're talking.
I don't know what's wrong with
no jerseys.
I don't know what's wrong with him this season with releasing very ugly jerseys. Manchester United was the first. However, it's not official. These are just links. But I don't know. They're all looking south. What's going on?
Oh, and then
well, I don't think any team can top Man U's zebra kit of last season. But moving on.
In fact, Ivan, before you move on, there's another obviously news from Arsenal, the Arsenal camp as well. They've got their left back Kieran Tierney, who they've actually extended his contract for another 4 years. So he will be at Arsenal for another 4 years. Remember, he was signed by the previous manager, Unai Emery, at £25 million, and he has showed that he's one of those extraordinary players. He's one of the best left backs in the Premier League, and I think he said in his comments, the reasons why he extended his contract is to do with the ambition and obviously the line in which the club is moving with their manager, Mikel Arteta. And obviously his ambitions are the ones that actually led him to, extend his contract. And he's grateful for the time at Arsenal and he's enjoying it. So I feel Arsenal are really in good business for now. If they get Ben White, if they get Kieran Tierney, there were also rumors of Yves Bissouma. So I feel if they get these players, they will actually be a strong force next season.
Different prospects in the season to come.
Yeah.
We having something with Pogba.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. Before we head into Pogba from the Tottenham camp, the former Wolves coach.
Nuno Espirito.
No. They're talking to him to replace Mourinho.
Right.
So it's just another thing that kept popping up yesterday in the news, and they were like he was not even a candidate in the first place. He resigned, and you did not even look at him at all. So why are you coming to him right now? So yeah,
I think it's going to be hard for Spurs to actually get a manager, because when you look at the people they've been talking to, they talked to Gattuso, and I actually have no idea why of all the managers they actually looked for Gattuso.
I think they were going for a big name.
And obviously the talks, went down, and then now they're looking at Nuno Espirito. I don't think it will also be that of a he's a top manager.
Why don't you think? I think it is a
I
top
think
manager, like you said.
because I
he's
can
got
give you an
experience
example.
in the
They
Premiership.
even Antonio Conte was one of the managers they wanted, but when he came, I think with the talks with Tottenham, I don't think they have a clear direction because Conte said that I can't go to a team that does not have a clear direction. So maybe it's in regards to transfer policy, maybe it's in regards to where we are in the 5 years. So I think everything is managed internally, and we don't know what happens within. So I feel that's why most of the managers don't
Maybe
want to
there's-
take up the role.
To begin with, I don't really get why Pochettino left.
Yeah,
So I reckon Tottenham is one of those teams where there's people forcing decisions on the
Yeah.
manager,
yeah.
and managers don't like that interference.
Obviously, if they force a decision on you and you don't perform, you'll be sacked. If you don't, if you, let's say you take up the team, they don't give you the players you'd want, you get sacked. So I think most of these big names would not want that. So yeah, even for example, even Crystal Palace right now, they don't have a manager after Roy Hodgson, retired, and they had got Lucien, who was the Borussia Dortmund manager at some point, and he had agreed to take up the role. Then later on, he came back and actually said, "Look, hold on. I don't think I'm interested anymore. I won't take the role." So I don't know why. Maybe he looks up and he was like, I think most of these managers are scared of the Premier League as well, because the Premier League is not the same as the Bundesliga.
But it should be. I think it's one of those leagues where it's a badge of honor on any coach.
It's a badge of honor if you do well.
Yeah.
If you don't do well, I don't think it will be a badge of honor.
Why is classed as doing well?
Talking about managers, let's not forget Moyes coached Manchester United at a point, and it was a total disaster. But then when he came to West Ham, he's doing wonders. So I believe coaches, if
Yeah,
they just have to
different
believe in
ambitions
themselves.
for different clubs.
Yeah, it's the pressures. Obviously,
Then
the pressure at United is
that's what
not
I'm
the
saying.
same at West Ham.
If you get a chance to coach Crystal Palace, Wolves, and you get another opportunity to represent Tottenham, you've been a success at Wolves. Come try out with the big dogs and see if because I don't believe the management will force you to sell this player, buy this player. They won't give you a short list of players. You do all that yourself. However much they may give you limited funds, but you just have to be a good manager. Because remember, the Wenger, the Arsenal, the former Arsenal
We know that man,
manager.
yeah.
He
Who
was
doesn't
so
know?
economical, but
Telling us
he
to
bought
remember.
he bought wonders.
Richie, you're asking us to remember that man.
No, I think Richie was trying to come up with a very derogatory term for the man. Please do not. Arsene Wenger
What
the
I'm
Great.
gonna
I
say-
think that should be added to his
Yeah, the great.
What I'm gonna say is Arsene was so economical, but he used to bring in cheap, good players.
Yeah, and
You
make
get what I'm
them
saying?
into something.
Mm.
He
Exactly.
had
So it's not about
he had a knack of
how
turning
much
ordinary players, not
To big
ordinary,
name.
but good players into very, very good players.
into great players.
Yeah.
It's not about how much they're giving you or how much pressure they're putting on you. It's
But
about
I
you
think
as
it
a
can be
person,
said
as a coach.
this is not a talent that many managers have.
I think
Most managers just do with what they've got.
I think
Get a few
Ivan,
results here and
with
there.
that, we're heading back to the old times. You could do that back then when you had the likes of Ferguson, Arsene Wenger,
Yeah.
when they could give the manager time. Right now, they don't
And
give managers
before
time.
money came into the game.
Yeah, before money
the way
came
it
in.
is now.
So they won't expect you to be at the club for 5 years without winning. If you're not performing, definitely, even if you bring all these players that have got talent, they won't give you the time for those players to actually show their talent. So it's not the same right now, Richie.
I understand. I get you.
Okay. Messi,
Yeah.
Messi is staying at Barcelona.
is it done?
Is it confirmed?
Is it confirmed? Do you have a fly
It's
on
not-
the wall?
It's not
Barcelona?
confirmed, but I just want to remind you of the contract that Aguero signed to Barcelona. It was on only one condition, that Messi stays and he plays with Messi. So, if anything is to happen, I believe Messi stayed at the Barcelona camp, and they will do whatever necessary deal for him that he needs to stay.
I understand it's his birthday this weekend, so some people were saying the statement might come out, but probably no. It's just celebrations.
I think it's advisable for him to finish his career at Barca.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
Do
I
you reckon
believe so.
he even thinks about
Any other
trying out
teams?
new challenges?
I feel he would. It's one of the things we would want him to do as fans. Himself, he might.
Can you picture
I think
Messi somewhere else?
I
If
can
so,
picture
where?
him in. Let him come to the Premier League. He has played in the La Liga. Let him come to the
Do you know
top
what?
league.
I do not see, because this league is so fast, so rough.
Yeah, he
And
wouldn't.
he's quite a tender guy.
He's tender, but when you look
But
at,
I believe Messi plays decent football as well.
he does.
I believe
but
he
the
can
knocks
play-
you get in the Premiership. The
I think he can play
injuries.
Premier League actually very well,
I-
but
I-
depending on what team he joins.
obviously, I think right now there's only one team he can join.
Yeah, the Arsenal. Yeah, tiki-taka football. That's his home. But honestly, I see him playing in a league like the Italian Serie A.
I think with him, it's to do with what he's obviously the competition right now has been between Ronaldo and Messi. Ronaldo has gone to see other leagues, have other experiences in the Italian league. So I feel it's one of Ronaldo has played in the Premier League. He's played in Spanish La Liga. He's played in the Italian league. Those are three different leagues. So Messi has a challenge now to prove. They would say Ronaldo has showed us everywhere and he's still at the top. Can you still do it?
Yeah.
So if he does that, then we'll be like, yeah. Obviously, even
The
if he
only
doesn't
thing
do it,
Messi
he's
can
still
do
the
right
top,
now
but-
is to move from La Liga to just one other league,
But-
because posing a contract is going to be a 2-year contract, 1-year contract. If after a contract, he goes to a different continent, a different, maybe that. But if it's
Ivan,
not the case,
I think he also has that fear in that if I decide to change the league and then it doesn't
And it
work
flops,
out and I
then
flop,
that's his legacy.
yeah, legacy gone. So
Yeah, come on, I
there's also that fear, and I feel that's
but
why.
Kenny, can I make you believe that there's no way Messi can leave La Liga to any part of the world and flop, even if he goes to South America?
Actually, I was gonna say that he's the kind of player who would thrive as well in South America.
Yeah, but
Because I have a
Argentina,
feeling,
but
probably
who watches these
back
leagues?
home.
Ronaldinho.
These leagues are not watched. These are home leagues,
Yeah, I think it's
so
it's
they
too
don't
big a
have
brand
much
now.
of that publicity, and he's big of a brand. So I
But
don't think he
Messi is a
will.
But
brand,
retiring
and the
at home would
publicity
be-
can come with the brand.
Maybe he's retiring
Yeah,
to go back and just enjoy. I don't think he will be doing it for to prove something. He'll just do it just to
and
enjoy
it can be
himself.
the thing that propels the Argentine league, to become big.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly, like Ronaldinho did with Santos
Mhm.
in Brazil.
Yeah.
People are watching their games now compared to what they were doing before.
Neymar as well.
Neymar came from there, so
Well,
I think he can do
any more
something.
prospective transfers?
Well, there were rumors of obviously in the United camp as well. Rafael Varane, he's still in talks with Madrid of a new deal, and the player himself, looks like he wants to, see new adventures, go to greener pastures, and I feel he would want to join the Premier League. And the only team right now it's United, so United are still, eyeing him. So maybe if we get more from that camp, we'll let you know. But for now, yeah, those are the rumors.
Rumors about Ramos joining Manchester City.
Yeah, obviously those as well. So he hasn't yet confirmed, but we'll see what happens. So I think that's it for the transfer.
That's it for
the big
More
games.
transfers will
football.
come after Euros.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. From football, we're moving on to. Are we moving to motorsport?
Oh yeah, I think we'll talk a few bits on Formula One. Last week it was the French Grand Prix, which we saw Max Verstappen come out on pole. Lewis was second. Sergio Perez was third. And with this race, I think it was to do with the Red Bull strategy. I think they got their strategy right, because when you look at the race, Mercedes, it was at some point it was Max, and then Sergio Perez, and then Lewis, and then Valtteri Bottas. But when the race was still going on, Red Bull reacted faster than Mercedes, and then they made the undercut. And then Max went to the pits, came back behind Bottas, and then obviously by the time these went to pits, Perez was pushing Bottas.
Yeah.
Hamilton couldn't pit, and his tires were gone. And then Max was just stretching all through, so he had the win, which was exciting because I really wanted him. I'm not.
And how many pit stops did Verstappen have?
Verstappen, I think, had 2, if I remember well. All I know, Lewis and Bottas. I think Lewis kept his tires. He didn't, because he couldn't pit. You know how Lewis is with his, he thinks that he will go all the races and win. But this time around, the tires were the tires were gone. And there was no chance. And obviously the laps were still, I think there was about 2 more laps to go. And then, Max had to take it. He had to age it. And I was happy for him.
So
and obviously,
can you give us the podium?
For
what did the podium
last
look
week?
like? Yes.
So the podium, it was Max, Lewis, and Sergio Perez.
Okay. And how were they doing in terms of the standings at the moment?
Yeah, the standings at the moment, championship, the drivers, Max is still top with 131 points, followed by Hamilton at 119, and then Sergio Perez at 84, Lando Norris 76, and Valtteri Bottas at 59. Then when you look at the manufacturers, Red Bull is still topping with 215 points, Mercedes 178, McLaren 110, and then Ferrari at 94, which is disappointing because I'm a Ferrari fan. But yeah, those are the standings. And then news today, yesterday in practice, and Valtteri Bottas was
Before you go any further,
Yeah.
Vodafone where?
Huh?
Vodafone maybe. Sorry, is Vodafone
No.
involved anyway?
Valtteri Bottas.
What are you talking about? Vodafone? Do they have a car?
I wanted to disorganize the flow.
So as I was saying, Valtteri Bottas was given a 3-place penalty because he had a dangerous spin in the F1 pit lane.
What, in practice?
Yeah, yesterday. So what happened was, this was today.
Where
What
is
happened?
this?
What happened? Obviously, because there's a race tomorrow.
Okay. Well, which race is this? What country is it?
This is the, if I'm sure, it was the French. The next one is the. Let me just open up my page here. I wrote it down.
Kenny, as you look
Yeah.
up the page, I just wanted to find out. I'm hearing Mercedes. I'm hearing also Red Bull. I'm hearing. Are these companies, to us that don't know the sport, just education, are these companies based on the countries that they're best in? Like you see, there's a Germany company, the Mercedes, and there's do those countries also get some kind of rating on the sport or something like that?
What, to have a track or?
Yeah, like do they, like, let's say, like you see tennis that an American will win, and they'll praise America, and let's say football, if let's say England wins, something like that, the countries where they come from get recognition at all.
No, it's not. I think the classification is this way: the driver and his country is recognized. So you have Lewis Hamilton, and that is the British. That would be considered a British win for the driver.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the manufacturers championship as well. So Lewis Hamilton, British, will win for Mercedes, which is a German company. So Mercedes also, Lewis Hamilton's win is a Mercedes win as well. So the country of origin of the manufacturer is then recognized, but not as much as the driver's origin.
Okay.
So there's 2 competitions going on. The the driver competition, and the manufacturer.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the Styrian Grand Prix.
Yes, because I wanted to say, we're hearing about these sports, but some people want to actually learn and start
learn
following
from
the
it.
sport.
Yeah.
So Styrian, where is this? This is
Let's have some edutainment.
okay. It's been a while since I've watched motorsport, this particular sport actually.
Well, Formula
But yeah,
One.
Kenny, you're saying.
I was still explaining. Valtteri Bottas had a spin-off in practice yesterday, and he was given a 3-place penalty because it was quite dangerous. But then it came out that Mercedes apparently they were losing so much time when it came to once you come to the pit stop and then they put in your tires, they were losing time. So they decided to try when the driver is setting off, instead of being in the first gear, to try out starting in the second gear. So that's what happened with Valtteri Bottas. So when he went, he was still in the second gear, but I think it was too strong in that the car couldn't take it. And then he had a spin, which cost him a 3-place penalty. So that's all we have from Formula One. And then Styrian Grand Prix, there will be qualifying. I think qualifying has started today, and then we'll find out
qualifying starts at 2. I have a report here that says Hamilton tops final practice and Verstappen was second.
Final. Oh, the practice, yeah.
Yes.
So, okay.
And this is I'm trying to find out where this Grand Prix is.
Oh, the country.
Yeah, the country. Yeah, Styria.
Styrian Grand Prix.
Styria. I think this is the track. This is the location of the track. But what country? Where is it? Somebody's saying, "Give me that question." Don't know which question it is. And shout out to John Kobe, Namuongo Blazers, basketballers out there.
Yeah, it's Austria.
Yeah, so it's the Austrian Grand Prix. Thank you. Okay. Right. Any more news from Formula One? Because I think last week we simply skittered through.
Yeah, we skittered through, and I had complaints from Formula One strong, fans saying, "How could you just give us a few minutes? You should have talked about this and that." But yeah, today we tried to get more to it, and mainly that was the news in Formula One at the moment, and they will be qualifying, and then we'll wait for the rest tomorrow at 2. And then we see, but still, Max is still
okay. So we don't have a starting order yet because they're only going into qualifying in 16 minutes.
Yeah,
and by the time that is done, we shall be off air.
For sure.
Maybe we shall update you on the Instagram and all that. So our social media team will get to work and let you know what's going to be going on.
Yeah. Just before we sign out, I have a request from a group on Clubhouse. It's a club called Kawowo, specifically for football. They request you organize a show or set up a show for them, like this show, but another episode sometime, but not in the morning hours, in the evening hours, where it's more.
They want to be like Rich and have a late Friday night and the line on Saturday. But
not necessarily a late night show, but just an evening vibe kind of thing. Like after work, sit down and talk about sports. Not sports. Sit down, talk about football.
So Richie, why is it that they can join in as well? They can call in like you, and we can have.
Yeah, they can call in like me, but I talked to them about this program, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to join," and some of them actually did join today. I'm receiving some messages from them, but they're telling me they want to participate, but they're at work, so there's that inconvenience.
Okay.
So we will just a suggestion, and we will talk to the management
and
probably
for some airtime, and once that slot is availed, well, no problem. Kawo. I think
just an episode, not Kawo, but an episode of this sports show, but at a different time.
Okay.
Yes.
We get you. We will, again, it all goes back to management.
Yeah.
We'll have a chat and see where we do that. I think we're going to wind up the show with another form of motorsport, which is the WRC World Rally Championship round in Africa, Kenya. That's going on right now. They're it started on Thursday with scrutineering and shakedown on scrutineering and shakedown on I think on Thursday. Well, it started anyway. Those were done, and yesterday was the first stage one. Today they're doing day one was Friday. They are doing day 2 today, and they will have day 3 tomorrow, which will be the conclusion. Right now, the classification after stage 9 was Noiville in the lead. This is a Belgian driving a Hyundai, followed by Japanese Katsuta driving a Toyota in second position. Oik Tanak driving a Hyundai as well in third position. Sebastian Ogier driving a Toyota in fourth position. And Greensmith driving a Ford in fifth position. Yes, still Ogier is a favorite to win this rally. They've still got a long way to go because in Safari, even an hour is enough. We've already had enough rolls. Unfortunately, the roll came to one of the local drivers. By local, I'm saying now a Kenyan, Tajir Rai, had a very bad roll that a stage had to be cancelled. That was yesterday.
So Ivan, with this, how do they actually? Because I'm not so much, knowledgeable in that
in rally.
type of sport.
Let me
in
first
rally
give
sport.
you the details of Tajdir Rai. He has been flown out to Germany. When his car rolled, his navigator or co-driver was fine. He walked out of the wreckage. The car was written off, but Tajdir Rai fractured his vertebrae.
Oh God!
So he had to be, they had the ambulance come. He was airlifted out, but he's been flown out to Germany for treatment.
Yeah.
So thank God he's all right. Tajdir Rai is driving on a Kenyan license, but his brother holds a Ugandan passport, Onka Rai, who is also in the same rally. However, despite holding a Ugandan passport, Onka Rai is driving on a Kenyan license. So on his car, it says Kenya, but we take him as a local driver.
Uganda.
But he's still in the rally. But something happened for the local drivers that, including Ugandan crews, we had about 5 Ugandan entries into the rally, but they couldn't go through scrutineering. Scrutineering is where they look at the car, assess it, and declare that it is fit for a World Rally Championship. Now, all local drivers except Yasin Nasser, who's co-driven by Ali Katumba, all the rest couldn't go through, qualify through scrutineering. Again, unfortunately, Yasin Nasser dropped out of the rally after developing engine problems yesterday. So there's no Ugandan driver who's driving for ARC. The rest of them, like Duncan Chikankane, Duncan Mubiru of Chikankane, Sebuguzi, I forget his team. The rest of them are now driving under Kenya National Rally Championship.
Oh, okay.
So the points they get will be Kenyan points, not World Rally points. You were saying about how do they? What was the question again?
The points, how they say that this is winner, this person has won, this person has.
Right. Unlike, or similarly to Formula One, or differently from Formula One, because Formula One you're racing and overtaking one another. You're racing another car. In rally, you're racing the clock.
Okay.
So each driver at the start of the rally has 0 time, but you have a specific time under which you need to reach the end, or you need to reach the next checkpoint, because you're driving on the roads. So you're given, say, 3 minutes. I will use okay, let's say we're here in Leighton, and you need to get to Stratford in 3 minutes. Yeah. And there are hazards on the way.
Okay.
And your car is of a certain quality. So you need to reach Stratford in 3 minutes.
Okay.
But if you have a roll, if you have a puncture, you can't make it in those 3 minutes. So you start to lose time.
Oh, so that's counted as well.
That is counted. And if you have an infringement of some kind, you might get a time penalty.
Okay.
So time is given as when classifications are made, they say Ken lost an hour, and the next person lost an hour and 15 minutes, and the third person lost an hour and 25. So you keep on losing time, and that's how you are ranked.
Okay.
So that's it. The rally ends tomorrow on Sunday. Again, we won't be here to tell you who.
And who is topping at the moment?
Noiville. Again, his first name skips me, but Noiville, driving a Hyundai, is leading at the moment. Now I'm saying this, but these are results from 4 hours ago. So unfortunately, the updated one, I don't know, because things are happening in Africa. The data is not loading as it should. Okay, I have now that Oik Tanak is leading the rally with a time of 2 hours, 27 minutes and 54 seconds. Sebastian Ogier has overtaken Noiville, is in second position with 2 hours, 28 minutes, 30 seconds. Greensmith is in third. I think Noiville has dropped out. Noiville is not on the classifications even in the first 8, so he might have dropped out. Fourth, Greensmith is third. Greensmith's driving a Ford Fiesta, whilst Ogier in second position is in Toyota Yaris. In fourth position is Max driving a Fiesta as well. Fifth position is Kalen Rovampera driving a Yaris. Battelli in sixth position, Italian driving a Ford Fiesta. Battelli now here is an heir to Prada, the Prada brand. So yeah, people wearers of Prada, that's your man right there. Hope he comes out of the rally safe. We have a British man, Elfin Evans, driving a Toyota Yaris as well, is in seventh position. And Danny Sodo driving a Hyundai
Toyota Yaris.
Yes, Yaris is a big car in World Rally.
Really?
Yes. forget the Uber Yaris.
No, because when you mention Yaris,
forget
it's
the
a small
Uber
car.
Yaris. This car is dope because it's prepared for rally.
Okay.
Yeah, not your electric
Oh,
Hyundai. So that's as it is. Oik Tanak is not Finnish. He's from Estonia. Yes, he's leading the rally right now, followed closely by Sebastian Ogier and followed by Greensmith, British man out there. So that's it, really. And I think this is how we wrap up our show.
Just a quick scope.
Yes.
The rugby team of Uganda went out to represent us to represent us in the Olympics, and they were found with COVID, and they were asked to go home. But as they were leaving,
somebody stayed behind.
Yes, one of them went missing. So
I think let's clarify, they had gone for a
qualification, yes,
which was in Monaco. They had to play a qualifier to qualify for the Olympics in Japan.
So does that mean they're not going through now?
They did it because they didn't play a game. They complete, and I think the captain had COVID back in Uganda and he didn't travel. So the rest of the team traveled. And they were found to have COVID.
All of them.
They found one, but then cases came on rising.
Oh, okay.
So
Similar
they
thing
were
happened
asked.
to the team,
Boxing.
the boxing team, which
Yeah.
went in good time. Because normally with Uganda, with the preparations have been sluggish. Teams are arriving late. Teams arriving for Olympics in batches, one going through another route, 5 flights, whatever. This time they were there early. They were only the first team to arrive in Japan alongside the Australians. So props to the Uganda Boxing Federation, National Council of
But I
Sports
think with
and
the
Olympics.
with the boxing one, I was watching a few bits on that, and they were saying it was one of the coaches
the coaches,
that tested positive, and
I think a second person tested positive.
second person.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the thing with what the Japanese have done is they've put them in isolation. They haven't sent them back.
Okay.
They put them in isolation and they are managing them.
So is it the whole team or just the coaches?
The whole team has been put in isolation.
So that means they won't play.
And they said they made a statement and said I forget what it was, but it's at like some of courtesy of the government or something of the sort. So the government, I don't know which government, Ugandan government or Japanese government.
So it's the one treating them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
it could be the Japanese because they're organizing the Olympics. So,
but having said that, the politics came into play as well. Japanese opposition politicians now were screaming once these cases came to light because the Japanese public is skeptical. They don't want these games now. They are calling for a postponement of the games, and now these cases have kind of justified their call.
Because of COVID.
Yeah, so they're saying that the argument is that the Olympics is good for the children. It will give them something to look forward to aspire, and the legacy, all these things that are built for Olympics, they regenerate communities.
Yeah, income, yeah.
But the opposition, like all oppositions, they find something to jump on. But again, we have several sportsmen who are coming out of the Olympics saying it's not this time, but this time. So,
but I feel it was too early to organize the Olympics, and
Japan only doesn't want to lose the opportunity of organizing.
A lot of money goes into this, so
Yeah.
they're thinking of the investment that they've sacrificed. They wanted to, because this was supposed to happen.
But I think
last year, wasn't it?
it's to do with the
2019.
it's to do with the organization. So it can happen. I'm not saying that the Olympics can't be organized. They can be organized because if you look at the Euros are happening anyway. The Euros is such a big tournament, but it's still happening. So I think it's to do with the organization and how they handle all these instances. Yeah. So I think
Some
fingers
news
crossed we're
anchors.
getting some famous Olympians on this show to interview. Let's see what strings we pull out there.
Yeah.
But we might get some athletes to talk to us, tell us about their preparations.
Yeah.
How they're going. 'Cause
Some
the
news
athletes
anchors claim to say, just because the Euros are an European thing, so they're getting money out of it, blah blah blah. So they made it possible. They made it believable that they can host them, have them happen, that nothing happens. But why is it that an Asian country is trying to host Olympics and they're trying to turn them down because of so-called COVID? I mean, the Euros are going on. We're seeing stadiums full of people.
Yeah, but they've put down measures to control any spread. I haven't had any cases arising from. Not that they would let us know freely.
Oh yeah.
It would cause
Exactly.
alarm anyway. But I'm hearing people getting up to 5 COVID tests, rapid and all that.
Where are the Euros?
Yeah, I mean to get into Wembley is not that easy.
No, but Ivan, with this COVID situation, I think some of it, I wouldn't say it doesn't make sense. Yeah, COVID is there for sure, but when you look at what happened to the Scottish and the England team, whereby one player tested positive, and then they had to, make the other 2 players isolate, and they couldn't play the game. So how is it that the whole Scottish team actually played the other game, and then these 2 players, the English players that actually talked to that player, couldn't be involved in the England game? So does that make sense?
There's no way you can tell me on the bus
Yeah, that they
See,
were
but
not
it's
together with the other players. So it's a bit of a tricky one. I don't
Or
understand.
even celebrating that draw because definitely happy they got a draw.
Well, we'll leave it at that and hope this COVID scourge goes away. It doesn't look like it's going out anytime soon, but we hope and pray.
Yeah.
This has been it for our show this week, and we hope next Saturday we will have rich inflation, not virtually.
Pray,
Yeah,
guys. I'm very sorry, actually. Very
Take-
sorry I couldn't make it today.
take care and good sporting weekend. We'll see you next Saturday,
See ya.
same time, same place.
And watch out for the Italy win.
No, I thought you were going to say the German
Germany
win,
win.
but
And they drop
England.
out of England.
Oh,
we have
Richie,
to
and
say
the England
that,
win.
Richie is a big supporter of the French, but he almost had a heart attack
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
French games are not coming easy, so
No, actually, to be honest with you, I was not even scared at all. No, listen, even if we lost, the game, we
you
were
are
going
through.
regardless. So
Okay.
I wasn't scared.
We'll give you that.
The only problem I had was my Germany team because I have a thing for Germany as well. I want Germany to get.
Will you stick to one team?
No, my team is France.
Okay.
But you have a thing for Germany.
But I have a thing for Germany and thingy. Reason being, I have Man City players there.
And the crush on England.
No,
Goodbye.
I
We see you. We
I have
see
a
you.
crush on Belgium.
He's French. He has a thing for
For
Germany,
Germany
and the
and
crush for
And the
England.
crush for Belgium.
Well, see you next Saturday. Goodbye.